Hello, and thanks for joining us on Universal Heritage Television Nigeria. We are glad to bring you another package in our breakfast show, Daybreak Nigeria. Today, we are going to talk about the insecurity that has besieged the Southeast region within the past 1 week. And my guest to discuss the issue is Martins Ori. Martins Ori, you are welcome to our program.
Thank you very much, Afam.
And I must not fail to inform you that Martins Ori is a senior journalist in Imo State. And he's also a publisher of the New Oriental newspaper. Martin, I welcome you once more.
Thank you very much.
My name is Afam Echi, your host. Please remember to give up thumbs up for our effort and subscribe to our YouTube platform. In the last 1 week, the Southeast region has been under siege, and the reasons are very, very obvious. A factional group of the IPOB, in the enforcement of a sit-at-home order, threw everybody into a problem. And there were incidents here and there. Imo State recorded 2 deaths, reportedly at Akwakuma and Oji flyover. And in Enugu State, there were also incidents affecting school children and their teachers, as well as in Ebonyi State. And maybe there may be unreported cases here and there. Now, drawing from these reports, can you tell us, maybe give us more insight into the incidents and as well as the state of the region as at present, economically, socially, and whatever view you may want to add?
Well, thank you very much, Afam. It's very true that for about a week now, Southeast residents and Southeasterners were compulsorily forced to observe a week sit at home. But the fact remains that it didn't start just last week. In the last in 3 years or thereabout, the Southeast has been besieged by a series of insecurity activities. Mm-hmm. Be that as it may, that of last week came as a renewal of what has been happening here before. The truth also remains that the observance of sit at home, the compliance, is not as if that Igbo, as it may sound, really want to stay at home. So some of them obeyed because of fear. You don't know what will happen when you venture to come out for businesses, because sometimes bullet does not know the target. Is who the target hits that will eventually go down as a dead person. Then you talk of the economy. The truth also remains that this is the worst times ever in the history of Southeast. The economic activities in the region are so low. You see businessmen, investors, companies relocating from Southeast to elsewhere in the South. Imo State Owerri in particular, used to be a home for entertainment and hospitality. We now see that people now prefer going to Asaba to coming to Owerri for whatever they are doing. And again, I want to tell you also that after Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, the city of Onitsha is the 4th most economic generated city in Nigeria, based on cash transactions or flow. As it is, for 1 week now, Onitsha has been very, very dry. You now talk of people, investors. You now talk of commercial, businessmen and women. Even, sometimes civil servants are afraid to go to work. So the truth is that in the commercial, activities in the Southeast have been very, very low in the past 1 week. The governors, I will not tell you lies, have been begging, doing things to ensure that lives are not lost, that properties are not destroyed. Yet, at the end of the day, as you reported in the introduction, We had about 2 or 3 deaths in Imo State. We had disturbances in Enugu. The worst form of it, I saw a video that trended where primary school students, pupils, were meant to lie down. The truth is that tomorrow those students may not go back to school. They might be afraid that they could be killed, and at the end of the day, they end up going to streets, which is not very good at all. So generally, as you rightly mentioned, it is a faction of IPOB, the Salmon Ipa, based in Finland. We don't know why somebody that is in Finland, instead of coming back home to come and agitate, will stay in Finland and be calling for a 1-week sit at home. I am a supporter of freedom for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The federal government should allow Nnamdi Kanu to go on the grounds that a competent court has freed him. He should go. If there's another thing, he should be coming to court from home. We are not happy that he's still incarcerated. And but the truth is that you cannot continue to be calling sit at home every time. You should graduate to the next level. You can see that a sit at home is not hitting the federal government that is holding back Nnamdi Kanu. So the factional IPOB that has continued to enforce this sit at home should please look for another means. Graduate from calling for sit at home, look for other things that will attract federal government's attention towards the call of getting freedom for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay. Let me take you on the issue you mentioned, drawing from the negative impact of this development on our economy. He said federal government, maybe if I get you right, maybe I'm not losing anything. Now, the Southeast region is hub of economic activity. You cannot take it away from Aba and Onitsha. And Nnewi, like you mentioned, these 3 cities, there's so much of economic activities going on. And for any day there is no business, the government loses revenue. Loses revenue in form of income that trickles down from VAT and taxes and some other processes that generate money. So should government not be concerned about this development, that has continued to shut down businesses, that has continued to affect human activities? Should government not feel so concerned as to find a way to stop this once and for all?
Yeah, you are very right. Don't forget, it was Wole Soyinka in one of his books who said that there are X and there are X. Yes. Yeah, there are business activities and there are business activities. You cannot compare the level of economic generation from Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to that of the Southeast, anywhere in the Southeast. As I said, Onitsha is the 4th. Yeah. Aba should be the 6th or the 7th or so. So you can remember that when the South militants moved, the federal government listened. Yes. Okay, when the OPC moved in 1993, after June 12, 1993, election was annulled. OPC moved and the federal government felt it. You understand? So also, when it appeared as if the North was confronting the government that power must return to the region in 2015, the federal government listened. You understand? But what I'm saying is that unless you are talking on immoral grounds, that Southeast is an integral part of the federation. Yeah. We are a part of the country. As I from Imo State, I'm a part of, I'm a Nigerian, so whatever is happening in the Southeast supposed to be of major concern to the federal government. That is very, very true. But if you are talking about the economic generation, the federal government can afford to overlook it, because if you're having 3 jobs, 2 are giving you 80%. Okay. The other one is giving you 20%. You can forgo. So that's what.
Well, I think drawing from the systems theory, which says that everything moves from one point to the other. And once there is a distortion in one,
it affects the other.
It affects the other.
Yes.
So, anyhow it is looked at, my thinking is that whatever is happening in the Southeast has overall economic impact, socially and otherwise, on Nigeria as a whole. Because now look at it, the businesses we do here, the food supplies that come from the north. Once there is any development here, negative, once there is a crisis here, food no longer comes here. The people that, the northerners lose revenue because they come here, they make money. And people here do not get the food they require to.
The food they're talking about is not a federal government business. It's individual. It's private.
Yeah,
the truth is that let us call spade a spade.
Yes.
The federal government's behavior towards the situation in the Southeast is very, very appalling. That is the truth. It's very, very appalling. I'm very sure that if this thing is happening elsewhere, the federal government would have found a solution to it for a very, very long time. That's just the truth.
Okay, so let's move to the next. In fact, that you know, in the state here, the government prides itself, and some of the times I've claimed that Imo is secure, Imo is safe. Now, the killings we experienced at the over the weekend, you know, is to some observers, it's a direct affront on the security operatives, you know, and also on the state government, whose responsibility it is to keep life and property safe. Now, what are your thoughts about the ability of the state security operatives to protect the people? What do you think they have failed? How effective do you look at that? If people can just storm at the heart of the town, you know, if these hoodlums, as they are called, could storm the heart of the town and take lives like this?
The truth is that if we must tell ourselves the truth, insecurity happens everywhere, whether in Europe, whether in America, whether in Asia, in Nigeria here, and Southeast, and we are in Imo State talking. The difference is that while other areas, other countries or other states may take proactive measures towards ensuring that reoccurrence does not happen, I don't see that happening here in Imo State. So far, the insecurity in Olu has somehow bettered. You can see that attention has now shifted to Owerri and Okigwe, because the Amaraku area, the Obolo market that was attacked on Friday is in Okigwe. Both Oji Bridge, the flyover, you know, the flyover attack, the one at Apakuma is in Owerri. So we did not record anything.
And there was also an incident at Amaraku.
At Amaraku too,
where a bus was bumped.
You understand? So even in Irete, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that why the government must have done enough towards, you know, checkmating the excesses in Olu.
Okay. They moved.
The insecurity now. Yeah. The attention has been, you know, shifted from Olu to Owerri and Okigwe. Yeah. And we are calling the security agencies and the state government, the governor, who's, by, you know, constitutionally is the chief security officer of the state, to please do everything humanly possible to ensure that they call these activities to order. But having said that, where I don't fancy what the government is doing is the idea of trying to call names, trying to label this person or that other person as behind the insecurity. If you think that Ori Martins is behind insecurity, go after him. Bring evidence, and Igbo Light will support you. Yeah. But just because for the sake of politics, you want to break somebody down, you think that if you say that such a person is behind insecurity, sympathy will leave him. No, it's not good. And again, we want to know what is the gravity, the quantity, what is... how are the security people empowered in terms of ammunition, in terms of equipment? Do they have it? Do they have all the gadgets? Do they have intelligence? Do they have so many things?
Are they motivated?
Are they motivated to work? That is the truth. You can see the policemen sometimes they don't want to be on police uniform because they're afraid they can be attacked at any time. Sometimes we hear that when these people struck, when these bad guys struck, they run away because the thing is that they are not well equipped like the government.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now you see, at the center of all of this crisis is Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, who is leading the IPOB agitation. That's the for the Biafran state. Now, some people hold the opinion, you know, if you feel the pulse of the people out there in the street, some people are of the view that the call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu may not even stop the Biafra agitation, because it is something they believe is orchestrated by injustice. You know, that so long as the Igbo man is being held down, in spite of all his contribution to the development and growth of Nigeria, that they will continue to call for justice. Going down memory lane history, you know, you see the Biafra Civil War. After that, the Masop guy, you know, was Rike, and then Nnamdi Kanu. So that even if, like even when Nnamdi Kanu has stopped, said officially, there is a pronouncement from IPOB that there is no longer seat.
That's true, yeah.
But some other persons who feel differently, the Simon Ekpa, who I understand is a disciple of, you know, from outside the country, is generating all these crises. Some people believe that there will be no end until justice is done.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts and what is your advice to the government?
Yeah, I think those who feel so are very, very in order. Don't forget that Obi was accused. I mean, His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi, the presidential candidate of Labour Party. It was said by his opponents during the campaign that while it was appearing as if he was going to emerge as the president of Nigeria, IPOB activities and the demand for Biafra ceased or lessened. So, to that effect, those who are saying an opinion you expressed there are very right, and to make it appear to be very right is in a football match. If you are suffering 2 goals,
yeah.
if you are having 2 goals deficit, midway you score 1,
okay.
You'll be very relaxed.
Yeah,
that right. If you
a short while,
you are going to equalize. But if it is 2 minutes to go, a minute to go, and you are still 2 goals down, the possibility of equalizing is not there. It is true. The Southeast has been for a very long time been marginalized. Even now. And that is why the Masop activities, the IPOB activities, the call for Biafra, the call for sit at home is still very much obeyed. By the time you start giving the Southeast what is due to them, road, if you go and check, you see that the worst of the federal roads are in the Southeast. The least infrastructure from the federal is in the Southeast. You talk of the state creation. In 36 states, yeah. We only have 5 in the region. When the Southwest and other places have 6. Northwest has 7. You talk of 774 local governments in the federation. There is only about 85-90 in the Southeast. When if you go to Kano alone has 44. Oyo has 38. If you sum 44, 38, 2 states, yeah. is almost coming to equate with the number you have in Southeast. You go to the National Assembly, in the Senate, 109 members, only 15 are from the Southeast, which was why it was very easy for subsequent Southeast Senate president to be pitched under Obasanjo. Okay. So it is very, very true that the Southeast is cheated and marginalized. And that is what is making the call for Biafra very, 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 very appealing and exciting to the youth.
Okay. Now, there are so many groups that have been, working hard to ensure having interface with the federal government to see that Nnamdi Kanu is released. Now, in your own view, take an assessment. Do you think the Igbo people, the various stakeholders in Igbo people have done enough? Taking it from the angle of the traditional institutions, the clergy, the town union, the governors, the politicians, individually and collectively, do we think the Igbo man or the Igbo people have done enough to put enough pressure on the government, on the federal government, to release related to what happened in the west and the southwest when Igbo was also incarcerated.
You see, the truth is this: the southeast, whether you are talking of the traditional rulers, whether you are talking of Ohaneze, whether you are talking of the political leaders, separately and collectively, they have done enough to attract the sympathy or the attention of the federal government towards releasing Nnamdi Kanu. I had seen former governor of Old Anambra State, Otukwemeke Zife, in court. I have seen Professor Ben Nwabeze coming to court to defend Nnamdi Kanu. I have seen Ohaneze Ndigbo. Then under the late Obiozo, going to Abuja to plead that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. The then president, Muhammadu Buhari, told them that it's a matter of the courts. The matter is within the court. I have seen politicians like Soludo, Ojus Okalu. Ojus Okalu is APC, Soludo is ABGA, going to the federal government to plead that Nnamdi Kanu is released. I've seen so many people. So the Igbo elites have really done enough towards calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. They have done that either by going to the federal government in person, going to the court, going to the media. It now remains. The matter is left for the federal government under now the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who also himself in the early beginning in 1993, 94, 95 had somebody who he went under Nadeko to plead for leniency for, which was Chief Enko Abiola. So he should not put himself in the stead of an Igbo man coming to him to plead for the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay, thank you so much. And let me take this question again. You see, if you look at the way the IPOB group or those Biafra agitators operate, it's more like a guerrilla attack. You know, they strike you here, you go after them here, they move to another point. And just like that, you know, it's uncoordinated. And it's been very difficult for the security operatives to have a good...
Afam, don't say that it's very difficult. The truth is, what makes it very difficult is because of, number one, either they are not well trained, or that they are not enough, or that the equipment is not there. This thing is all about tracking. It's all about tracking.
They will track when you have information.
That's what I'm saying. That is no. That is what we talk about the equipment.
Yes.
These people, they had a meeting.
Okay.
They left from somewhere. If they are well, if we have intelligence monitoring in Nigeria, it is easy to be tracked. Number one. Number two, a part of the reason Biafra was defeated was that Biafra had an organized front. Okay. So maybe the IPOB, the factional IPOB members who have been striking, if at all they are the ones. Okay. If at all is alleged, if at all,
because there are persons who believe that it's not IPOB.
It's not IPOB.
Sometimes they deny the attack.
Exactly. So,
but this one happening following a sit-at-home order.
So the enemy can weigh in using any means. So what I'm saying is that until it is really proved that these are IPOB members, it is alleged. It is an allegation. Okay. So to that effect. A part of the reason Biafra was defeated was that it had an organized battlefront So it was easy to confront them. Maybe if the people striking, if they are really IPOB members, they have, learned a lesson from the strategy of Ojukwu and say, we are not going to employ that kind of strategy. Okay. It's going to be guerrilla warfare. Strike and go, come back, shift, go to that place. But as I said, it is still allegation.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to look at, I wanted you to advise the government. Do you think in a guerrilla warfare that the government can win? Following, because this thing has persisted, this thing have lasted.
The easiest warfare the government can win is a guerrilla warfare. Go and ask America how it dealt with Osama bin Laden and co. How it dealt with so many guerrilla warfares it has faced. It's very easy.
But you forgot we are not at the level of America.
That is what I'm saying. Why are we not in the? Is it not the same God that created us? Is it not science and technology? Is it not? No, don't say that. Yeah. So the government should arm and equip properly.
But we have very huge defense budget. Much of
the budget does not, translate into materials being bought, materials being secured. It can be on paper. It can be on paper. So please, on a very serious note,
give us your final words on this issue.
The truth is that I am very convinced that this issue has linger on two grounds. Okay. One is the marginalization in the southeast, and the youth are not very happy. Many people are hiding under IPOB to do so many things. Two, the federal government should please arm and equip the security agencies on the part of data intelligence gathering. You need this in the body if you have the intelligence report. It's not in Nigeria where you see people carrying guns, and he don't do it again. He don't do it. Okay. Insurgents does not respect gun. They respect intelligence report.
Okay, viewers, this is the much we can take from this program, and we have heard it from our guest. He said guerrilla warfare is very easy for the government to handle, and well, that is a challenge for the federal government because the southeast region for some time now has not had it better, and there are a lot of issues raised that marginalization of the southeast is a very serious issue, and he said that if this problem were to be in other regions, the federal government would have already found an answer to it. So I don't know what is your take on this issue, but he has dealt, for me, I think he has done justice to this matter. And on this note, we round up the program and ask you to remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us thumbs up for our programs. Martin, thanks for coming.
Thanks.
My name again is Biafra Agitation. Thank you for being part of it all.